U.S. President Donald Trump spoke to reporters outside of the White House on Sunday before departing for the G7 summit in Canada. According to Associated Press, Trump, asked what he's doing to de-escalate the fighting between Iran and Israel, said he hopes there's going to be a deal, but added, sometimes they have to fight it out. He also said the U.S. supports Israel's defense. The president said thinks we'll have a few new trade deals at the G7. And he said protesters would rip apart Los Angeles's if he didn't send the National Guard. They come and they check, is the National Guard going to be there? And if the National Guard is there, they don't even show up, he said.
So we're going to Canada. Last night was a tremendous success with a fantastic audience. It was supposed to rain. They gave it a 100% chance of rain, and it didn't rain at all. It was beautiful. And so I asked if they gave it 100% chance, right? 100% it was going to rain like crazy, and it didn't rain at all. How did they predict 100 years out and 50 years out or 200 years out? They didn't do too well, the weather people, last night, but it was beautiful.
President, are you and Prime Minister Netanyahu on the same page concerning how to deal with Iran?
Well, we get along very well, and I will tell you that I think I have great respect for each other.
Can you give us a leader for solution?
Go ahead, what?
Mr. President, can you give us a sense of what you're doing to try to de-escalate the situation between Iran and Israel?
Well, I hope there's going to be a deal. I think it's time for a deal, and we'll see what happens, but sometimes they have to fight it out, but we're going to see what happens. I think there's a good chance there'll be a deal. What? So the protesters, if we didn't have the National Guard on call and ready, they would rip Los Angeles apart. They come and they check and they say, is the National Guard going to be there? And if the National Guard's being there, they don't even show up.
Have you asked Israel to pause their airstrikes into Iran?
Well, I don't want to say that.
Mr. President, do you expect to have some trade deals announced at the G7 summit coming up?
Look, we have our trade deals. All we have to do is send a letter. This is what you're going to have to pay. But I think we'll have a few new trade deals, yeah.
Will the U.S. continue to support the defense of Israel? Will the U.S. continue to support Israel in its defense?
We do, yeah. Thank you very much, everybody.
Israel has carried out one of the largest operations in its history, striking Iran's nuclear and military infrastructure. But the most impressive thing is that the attack did not come from the air, but from inside the country itself, writes CNN. Israeli security sources say Mossad agents infiltrated Iran in advance, smuggled weapons, planted explosives near key air defense sites, and set up a base for launching drones. These actions paralyzed Iran's defenses before the massive airstrike began. According to official data, more than 200 aircraft took part in the air operation, which hit more than 100 targets. High-precision weapons delivered by Israeli special forces were used to destroy Iranian surface-to-air systems near Tehran. Thanks to this, the Israeli Air Force was able to operate almost unhindered. All aircraft returned to base without losses. Iranian military commanders and scientists, particularly those involved in the nuclear program, have been among the main targets. Israeli intelligence has been operating in the heart of Iran, particularly in the capital, Tehran, according to sources. Numerous cases of assassinations and bombings have been recorded, filmed and published by the Israeli side itself. The operation is the culmination of a long conflict between Israel and Tehran that has been unfolding in the shadows for decades. Beginning in 2007, the Mossad repeatedly assassinated nuclear scientists in Iran, including Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, who was killed in 2020. Also in 2018, agents stole an entire nuclear archive from Tehran, more than 55,000 pages and 55,000 files, which were shown at a press conference by then Prime Minister Netanyahu. The recent attack also killed Feridun Abbasi, a key expert in Iran's nuclear program, who had said in May that strikes on the sites would not affect the nuclear weapons timetable because nuclear materials are not stored above ground. Holly Degas, a senior fellow at the Washington Institute, said the Mossad has treated Iran as its playground for years. From assassinations to sabotage, Israel has always had the upper hand in this shadow war. It is significant that even before the attack began, Israel liquidated Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh not in Gaza but in Tehran. According to information from Israeli sources, an explosive device was planted in the guest house where he was staying and activated remotely at the right moment. Despite the Iranians' loud claims of protection and retaliation, numerous security failures point to serious internal weaknesses. As former Mossad deputy chief Ram Ben Barak has said, Israel's intelligence successes are due not only to professionalism, but also to a regime that is hated even by most of its own people. After decades of operating in the shadows, Mossad's operations are now going public and demonstrating that Israel is no longer playing a backroom game.